Dear students, welcome to Digital Learning of DCE. Myself Divya. This is 18th session of Chapter 2 of Human Resource Management subject, and this subject is a part of 5th semester BBA course of Mangalore University. In previous session, we had discussed various methods of training. In this session, we are going to learn principles of effective training program. Training is a continuous process. It involves lot of time and cost. Therefore, it is essential that training program has to be organized after considering various factors. Training program should be prepared in the light of the requirements of the organization as well as trainees. A good training policy has to be prepared in such a way that it benefits both employees as well as organization. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀಡಲು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನೀಡಬೇಕು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕ ಸಮಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಖರ್ಚು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಲಾಭದಾಯಕವಾಗಿರುವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು. The following guidelines will help to make a training program more effective. Let us see what all those principles. First principle is principle of clear objectives. The objectives and scope of the training program should be clearly defined. A comparison should be made between operational requirements and existing personal skills. This will help to determine the specific training needs of employees so that a well-defined set of performance standards can be created. ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಉದ್ದೇಶಗಳ ತತ್ವ. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ದೇಶಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನಿಸಬೇಕು. Second one is principle of training policy. A clear, defined training policy will act as a guide for designing and implementing training program. This type of policy will specify who is responsible for training, what is to be spent in training, how the training program will be scheduled, etc. ತರಬೇತಿ ನೀತಿಯ ತತ್ವ. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಿನ್ಯಾಸಗೊಳಿಸಲು ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಗತಗೊಳಿಸಲು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಿಯಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾದ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನಿತ ತರಬೇತಿ ನೀತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. The next one is principle of learning period. Learning takes time and teaching in segment is better than in one schedule. Several short sessions has to be spread over a long period, so it enables the trainee to learn, reinforce and review. ಕಲಿಕೆಯ ಅವಧಿಯ ತತ್ವ. ಕಲಿಕೆ ಸಮಯ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. Next one is principle of motivation. Employee tends to be most responsive to training program when they feel that there is need to learn. Therefore, training must be related to the needs and problems of the trainees. The information which is provided in training program as well as in training materials should be useful to trainees. This will motivate trainees to learn. ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಯ ತತ್ವ. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಿಸುವಂತಿರಬೇಕು. Next is principle of reinforcement. According to B.F. Sinners, when behavior is repeatedly rewarded, it becomes a permanent part of one's personality. Learning will be more effective when there is reinforcement in the form of rewards and punishments. Trainees should be encouraged to participate, discuss, and discover the desirable patterns of behavior. ಬಲವರ್ಧನೆಯ ತತ್ವ. ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಲವರ್ಧನೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕಲಿಕೆಯು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. The next principle is principle of organized material. Training material should be properly organized. A complete outline of the whole program should be distributed in advance so that trainees can prepare themselves before coming to training session. Training material should be prepared by training section but with consultation supervisors. ಸಂಘಟಿತ ತರಬೇತಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ತತ್ವ. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ವಿತರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇದರಿಂದ ತರಬೇತಿ ಪಡೆಯುವವರು ತರಬೇತಿ ಅವಧಿಗೆ ಬರುವ ಮೊದಲು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತಾವು ಸಿದ್ಧಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. Next is preparing the instructor. The instructor is very important person in training program. The trainer should not only be a good teacher but also he should have a thorough knowledge about job. ತರಬೇತಿದಾರನನ್ನು ಸಿದ್ಧಪಡಿಸುವುದು. ತರಬೇತಿದಾರನಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಜ್ಞಾನವಿರಬೇಕು. ಆಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವನು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯ. Principle of feedback. Trainees should be provided information on how much they have learned and how well they are doing, etc. The feedback should be positive, fast, and also frequently to be given to the employees. Self-graded test and also a programmed learning can be used to provide feedback. ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ರಿಯೆಯ ತತ್ವಗಳು. ತರಬೇತಿ ಪಡೆದವರಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಂಬ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸಬೇಕು. Next is principle of practice. Practice makes a man perfect. Skills that are practiced will be better learned and less easily forgotten. Therefore, trainees should be allowed to continuous practice. ಅಭ್ಯಾಸದ ತತ್ವ. ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಕಲಿಯಬಹುದು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ತರಬೇತಿದಾರರು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಅಭ್ಯಸಿಸಬೇಕು. Next is appropriate techniques. The methods and process of training should be related directly to the needs and objectives of the organization. It should be conducted as far as possible in actual job environment. So, appropriate techniques should be used for training. ಸೂಕ್ತ ತಂತ್ರ. ತರಬೇತಿಯನ್ನು ಸೂಕ್ತ ತಂತ್ರಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಒದಗಿಸಬೇಕು. These are the various principles of effective training program. If these principles are followed, then training program can be more effective. Dear students, in this session we have discussed various principles which act as a guide for effective training program. Thank you.